Hello peoples, Amanda here again for part 2 of my puppy cat tutorial puppet making video. So the last video ended with me doing a lot of carving and a lot of thinking and telling you all about the materials. So after I carved him down a little bit more to make more of circle shapes for his head and a bean shape for his body, as well as added kind of a spot on the back for his butt. And then from there I was able to go ahead and pattern his fleece to get it to wrap him pretty much easily, and then the head, and then it went kind of crazy from there. So I want to show you all what I have, if you're ready. He's almost done. This is him kind of pinned together more or less. I've done some artistic liberties already. Isn't he adorable? He's so cute. I love him. So I do have the bottom still open to where I can stick my hand up there and be able to turn his head, but I still gotta work on that, make it a little bit better for me to turn. But essentially, he'll turn his head. Just gotta open that up a little bit more to make it able to turn his head. He is in 2 pieces. The main part is his head, obviously. It looks kind of morbid when I pull him apart. For the head, I have actually, he is the green ball that I sculpted, and then over top of it I've actually made a pattern to cover his head that I sewed together from 4 different pieces. And I was able to pattern him out by doing pretty simple math, by basically taking the size of his head and dividing it by 4 into these little pie pieces, by taking the circumference of his head, dividing by 4 of the middle, the top, and the bottom. Dividing each piece by 4 and then connecting him how long it is from the top part of his head to the bottom portion of his head. So you'll get a little pattern piece that looks like this. Also, another really easy way to get something patterned like this is to look at a baseball cap. A baseball cap is sectioned into pieces very similar to this. Of course, it's missing its bottom half because you have to put it on its head. So the pieces kind of do look like this. But if you're trying to get an idea on how to piece together what these pieces will look like, you want to look at a baseball cap. I was able to shove the foam ball piece into the sewn, basically, ball pattern that I have, and it looked really good. And then from there, I just cut out his eye pieces. His little nose here is a button. His ears are foam also that I just covered and hot glued in the brown that I had, and then just did the same for the eyes. All these are hot glued on. I did sew the ears on. Those did require some sewing because I wanted to give it a little more of a shape like this. After I completed all of his face pieces, I moved on to covering the body, basically the exact same way, but this way was a little easier. I just draped the fabric over his body like this, and then just kind of pulled each section and made like little darts. So I actually put the good side down first and made little darts kind of around his back side and his front side, and then pinned them and then sewed them. So instead of patterning him out like I did the head, because I wanted the head to be very even all the way around and no wrinkles at all, this one I was able to sew, I don't know if you can see, but there's a dart here, there's a dart here, one here, and one here. But after I was able to sew those darts, there still is a little bit of wrinklage down here. But all of that is just going to be pulled where those pins are right now, and then eventually, once I'm done figuring out the size of the hole for the head to turn, I'm going to take a piece of this and cover it like so. And then that'll cover it. Of course, the hole will be open, and I can put my hand up in there. But that's the body, basically. The body was really simple. Now, the one thing about Puppycat is that he has a very large bottom and very squishy. So I did end up putting kind of an angle back part instead of a flat, which is how I carved it originally. So I just built up the back a little bit more with some felt pieces and then covered it like this. So when I was actually done carving it, he looked very choppy, but once I covered it with the fleece, it smoothed him out a whole lot more. So don't be afraid to make your body pieces look really chopped and carved underneath of it, because you're not going to see it eventually. You're going to cover it with felt or fleece. I also made a tail. The tail is out of the foam, and I stuck actually some wire in it, so I was able to curl it up a little bit so I can also bend it each way I want. And I'm eventually going to sew that on. And to continue, I also made tiny little legs for him, although they look like little chicken legs. So I made tiny little legs for him that are eventually going to go on him like this, all around. Let's see, here's the other one. So we'll get 4 tiny little legs, so it looks like he's sitting in my arms. So he'll look like this when I have him. And then my hand will be up in him like this, turning him like this. These will be sewn on, and all I did was carve with scissors, pretty much, not even like big industrial knife. I carved little chicken leg looking things and made a flat side on one side and then a more of a round 3-dimensional side on the other side to emphasize where that's his leg and foot will be. And then I just covered it with the fleece and I hot glued it down. I did no sewing. I did the same thing for his little paws. I hot glued that down after I covered it. I cut some strips of the brown felt and just folded it kind of like a wrapping paper style and just hot glued it to the end of the foot. I made 4 of those. Make sure when you make them that you are making ones that go on the right side, because I was making eventually 4 of these that were the same shape and his feet were backwards. So you have to understand that he does have right and left feet, honestly. The last thing I worked on, which is where I'm at now, is the collar and the bell. If you can see the collar I have not going all the way around him, which in the cartoon it does go all the way around him, but I just carved these, or I just cut these out. I made a basic shape, like a U shape, and then stuffed it with polyfill, which is like the stuff that's in your pillows. Just not even, I didn't stuff it with foam, I just stuffed it with that, so it's really, really squishy and easy to turn around for when I turn his head. I left one side open for me to basically see if I wanted it and to stuff it, and now I really like that side, so I'll sew up that side, sew it to the head along with the bell, so his head unit is separate than the body unit. Easier for travel, so you can also turn his head. One last thing I wanted to say is that I got really creative with what I was going to turn his head with. This is actually a foam brush, like a paintbrush that people use, that are like $1 or less at most craft stores. I just ripped off the foam, and I really liked this dowel rod that I actually found first off, because I wasn't sure on the size that I would make him, the dowel rod would be. So I found this that I knew was pretty handheld, and once I ripped the foam off, I realized that there was this cool piece under it. So that easily, I just kind of slit in his head easily and just stuck it in there like this. So once I'm done with him completely and I've sewn up his collar and bell, I will glue the plastic and then inside the head so it doesn't come out anymore. So what I will see when you just pull them out differently is just the dowel rod. But anyways, it's kind of smart. I feel pretty genius finding that. So it's amazing what you can find just laying around your craft room instead of going out and buying everything. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. Tell me how much you love Puppycat as much as I love Puppycat. Tell me if you like these, because I don't know. This was pretty simple to put it together. I might make some and sell some or give away, do special giveaways with Weird Girls. Who knows? Because I really liked making Puppycat. He was so fun and so cute. Also, don't forget, I will be at RTX in Austin with everybody else in the Weird Girls. We're doing a panel July 5th at noon. Be there or be square. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be dressed up as Bee and Puppycat for that panel. So you should come and you should see the real Puppycat that I made, and I'll even let you hold him, maybe, if you're cool. Only if you're cool.